Greetings, beloved co-creator. I am Gilles Mancillon, and I come to speak to you briefly today about a subject that is romantic love. It is something that millions of books have been written on that subject through all literature. There's millions of movies have been made, the books written. There's thousands and thousands of websites that is talking about this, and everybody's trying to solve this incredible mystery. Yet nothing will be able to fully explain this process. For it is a biological imperative for mating between men and women. When there was the separation, the creator knew that they're supposed to come together. There was some setup, so to speak. But there's great mystery in relationship to the energy systems, the way the men and women do not work, do not function in the same way. So that makes the process very interesting. There are two sorts of relationship. The first one is platonic. Platonic relationship encompasses 95% maybe of our relation. It is about friendship. It is all those things. But then romantic relationship are able to test our limit. It is why it gives it is so much it procures so much possibility for growth. For that's very, very important and powerful. Of course, to keep a long-term relationship, you have to have passion and friendship for long-term relationship. There are all kinds of relationships. Some of them are karmic, here to teach you lesson. There is also relationship that are codependency. You need something, I need something, and we're gonna use each other for that. There are deep soul connections as well that are always very challenging because they reflect all the mistakes we have. And there is true love, the perfect mate, the perfect match. There's not that many of those, but once you find that, it is for all your life. Essentially, in relation, when we enter into a romantic relationship, there is what, and we only have, we basically know in 10-15 seconds if there is a potential. After that, it takes a bit longer to figure it out. But the first impression is quite key. For in 10-15 seconds, we definitely usually know if there is a potential for romance when we meet someone. There is the halo effect. When we meet someone, sometimes there is a halo that has been created, and so we are kind of like, wow, this is great and everything. But and this halo effect just hides all the darker side of the person. It's kind of this part that is attractive is becoming so prominent that nothing else is being seen. So we move into a relationship, and then we discover that the whole will fade away, and then we discover that person wasn't as perfect as we thought he was or she was. So it is important when you move into a relationship that to be able to accept the whole person as they are. For the very for we all have a dark and light aspect. So when you go into a relationship, you have to accept that the other person has a dark side as well, and you have to integrate that. Accept the person as it is, as she is, as he is. Another thing is too important to follow your nose in relationship. For when you have a soul connection to someone, you can smell their pheromones. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense because you don't smell the pheromone of someone, that there is no value in the relationship. But when you're on a soul level, you will smell that. I'm not talking about external perfume. I'm talking about internal aspect of connection. Men have a tendency to follow their eyes, what they see, the beauty in women. When women are more into their ears, what they hear, because the women are on the fundamental level are more looking for status and security, comfort, when men are looking for beauty. So those are just unconscious, tribal kind of, very anchored kind of energies. So yeah, I mean, of course, there is many. We could approach it in many ways to talk about romance. Of course, for me, it's like I need to feel like we share a sense of humor. We have a good time. Although it takes about 10-15 seconds to find out if someone is potentially can be potentially a mate. It takes about 30 to 45 minutes of discussion to see if there is a flow. Of course, it can be shortened if the adventure, if the emotional connection is stronger, then of course you can escalate it in terms of getting closer to the sexualization of the relationship. So yeah, well, I was gonna make some notes, but this is a little bit. I don't want to push too many buttons. So in essence, if you're looking for a deep relationship, you don't need to really be out there looking for it. We have to be out there, but it comes to you naturally when it's the right time, when you're aligned. Of course, you need a lot of hope, faith, trust, confidence, peace, abundance, prosperity, creativity, joy, happiness, serenity, in order to be able to align this, because it's really, really difficult to align those deep soul connection before it comes into balance and harmonization, because those deep soul connections are deep mirrors, so they reflect all our weaknesses first and foremost. But in order to move into a deep soul connection, you need two things. You need soul connection, where there is a similarity in the soul vibration, and level of consciousness, where we feel like we can share dreams and desires. And so yeah, I mean, there is much that can be said, but I hope that it's a very romantic time with this moon in Taurus, and so I hope you enjoy those times. For it is romance is something that is quite magical, mysterious. It is an energy that is kind of floating in the air somewhat, and of course we don't. It's kind of it's about setting stages also for being romantic. You don't need essentially to be rich to be romantic, but it does help to be able to create romance. But money will not take you all the way there. It's just it's more, you can be more romantic. Romance is something that comes from within, that's really deep, but yet we live in a world that you want to remove all the obstacles for the romance if possible, in order to create a setting, a flow that is completely free for the experience of being comfortable and allowing yourself to become more intimate with someone. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I might come back and we'll speak a little bit more on that. In the meantime, I wish you a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.